I'm Emily from GoWP. Welcome to today's webinar, which is how to become a high-value WordPress LMS consultant with Chris Badgett, CEO of LifterLMS. Really quick, I just want to say a couple words about GoWP in case anyone watching isn't familiar with us. So at GoWP, we are a team that is devoted to helping agencies grow by providing exceptional outsourced WordPress services. Agencies that partner with GoWP are able to focus on the low-touch, high-value work that helps them grow because they can depend on GoWP to take care of the high-touch, low-value work that disrupts their day. So that's things like website maintenance, never-ending content edit requests that come in from clients at all times of day and night. Our team takes care of that for you, completely white labeled under your branding, and your clients are taken care of and happy. So yeah, I also want to say that creating a GoWP partner account is absolutely free. You don't have to be a paying customer, and it gets you access to all sorts of resources to grow your agency. So currently in there, in our knowledge base, we have landing page templates to help you sell care plans, a maintenance schedule lead magnet, and landing page templates to help you generate leads from that, and all of these ways to help you increase your recurring revenue. There's also all sorts of documentation you can take and make your own to use with your clients and prospects. So yeah, I hope you will create your free partner account if you haven't already, and you can do that at my.gowp.com, and I'll share a link to that in the chat in just a minute. You also may have seen that we launched our new dedicated developer service. This is a service that we've developed hand in hand with our customers. In case you missed the post or the email, or you're not on our list or not in the Facebook group yet, you may not have seen it, but we developed dedicated developer because we know that hiring devs is hard. It's hard because you can hire someone that ghosts you, doesn't show up. You can hire someone who ends up having the wrong skills than what you actually need. Hiring someone who doesn't work well with the team, and hiring someone who just doesn't share your priorities. So they're not going to prioritize your work over other things they have going on in the pipeline, maybe. So we're getting rid of all those struggles and mistakes. This dedicated developer service places one of our full-time developers directly on your team to work on any WordPress tasks. They will work in your tools, on your schedule, 4 hours a day, Monday through Friday. This launch has actually had such a fantastic response that we are effectively sold out at the moment, but we're working hard to hire and onboard more developers as we speak. So if you're interested in learning more, you can find info at gowp.com/dedicated-developer. And even if you think you could use this service, but maybe not yet, maybe you have to get some things in order before you're ready to bring a developer on your team, but you do see that happening down the road, I would suggest adding your name to the interest list that you see on that page, because we will be reopening this service, and our promotional launch price will be going up after that. But if you add your name to the interest list now, you're actually locking in that $17.99 monthly rate for when you're ready to bring the developer onto your team. So I'll be sharing that link in the chat as well if you want to check that out. If you have any questions about partnering with GoWP and how we can help your agency, feel free to email me at emily@gowp.com. Hit me up in the chat, reach out in the Facebook group, wherever. I'll be happy to help. I also wanted to tell you about our Facebook group. So if you're watching here in the Zoom webinar, you may not be a member. It is the GoWP Niche Agency Owners Facebook group. It's a community of agency professionals who either already serve a niche market or would like to niche down. We're broadcasting this webinar live in the group now, and it will be available to watch there as well afterwards. So go check it out and request to join, and we'd love to have you. A few notes about the webinar, and I will be putting the links in the chat in just one moment. So for the webinar, you can put anything up in the chat. Chris and I will be watching. I'll be watching on Facebook. Questions, we'll try to get to all of those either during the presentation or at the end. We'll save some time for Q&A. So please use the chat and let us know what you're thinking and any feedback or questions you have. So that's it for me. Let's get to why we're really here today, and that is Chris. So Chris Badgett is the co-founder and CEO of LifterLMS, which is a learning management system for WordPress. He helps education entrepreneurs create, launch, and scale high-value online training platforms. He believes in democratizing education in the digital classroom and contributing as much as possible to the open source WordPress community. So, hey, Chris, thanks for bearing with me during, during that long intro there. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me, Emily.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So I'll hand it over to you. I'll go ahead and mute myself and chime in whenever there's some questions or anything to share.
Cool. Well, I'm just going to share my screen with everybody here. And if y'all would, let me know in the chat, just write the word LifterLMS. If you can see a slide with the earth on it, just write LifterLMS in the chat. Make sure I'm sharing the right thing. Cool. Awesome. And then before I get started, I just want to ask you all first of all, I just want to say how honored I am to be here. The WordPress community has done so much for me. I started in WordPress in 2008 with a personal blog about outdoor leadership. I was living on a glacier in Alaska. I managed a helicopter-supported sled dog tour business up there, and WordPress has been an incredible ride these past 12 years. And there's a special place in my heart for the agency owner out there, which I was for a long time as a freelancer and an agency owner, and then ultimately became a product person. But if you all who are here could let me know in the chat, as a WordPress professional, what is your biggest challenge right now, or the biggest opportunity that you want to take advantage of? I'm going to ask you a couple times during this webinar to, engage with me in the chat, so I can kind of feel the vibe of what's going on in your mind, how I can best serve you here. But what's your biggest challenge as a WordPress professional? If some of y'all could just drop in the chat, whatever it is, marketing, closing leads, pricing, whatever it is, niching, recurring revenue, tech, team, whatever it is. So we got education from Jeffrey in the chat. Appreciate that. Launching the course in the best way. Awesome, Beth. I appreciate that. Courses, be careful. Once you launch one, it's a slippery slope. Graham says bringing a measurable ROI to his clients. We're going to get into that for sure. Thanks for playing along. I appreciate y'all typing in the chat. So I'm going to jump right into it. Sharon's looking for possibilities as alternative to finding her next corporate job. Totally. So let me tell you about my WordPress journey, where I went from selling $300 sites to $30,000 projects in the WordPress LMS niche, is where I ended up at 30K. But at first, I would sell anything I could for anything. I didn't know what I was capable of. I was doing websites for psychics, restaurants, car mechanics, real estate agents. If you've done sites for everybody, just type everybody in the chat. And really what happened to me is, after I started blogging as my own personal journey as a course creator, I started blogging about how I was building these WordPress LMS sites. I first started with a theme off of Theme Forest called Academy. I was doing it for myself in the organic gardening niche. This is probably my 80th blog post, and I was just teaching people and taking screenshots on how to build a course site with e-commerce and everything, all with WordPress. And that was the first site that really took off for me. I'm not going to go through the whole story, but I started getting client requests in the LMS niche. I started, ultimately, some of you may know me as a marketing guy or a salesperson. I can't write a single line of code. I started overselling what I could deliver by putting plugins together and stuff. So I ended up partnering with Thomas here, who's my business partner in this picture. He's an amazing WordPress developer. And we had a third partner when we first started, and our agency really blew up. We started building in the kind of the expert niche inside people who were also using Infusionsoft. And that's really where we hit our stride and started to get into the big projects. But I'm going to get into a lot of the details about that and some lessons learned along the way. My goal with you today is to condense decades into days and ideally into hours. So I'm trying to share with you as much experience as I can in as shortest time as possible. The stuff I wish I had heard when I was selling those $300 sites to psychics and yoga instructors. So there's 3 big ideas I want you to keep in mind as I get into it today. The first is that to get away from the technical details, just suspend the technical details of WordPress for a moment and just think in your mind about having a no custom code WP agency entrepreneurship approach and what that looks like. The next thing I want you to think about is, this is my friend Dane Maxwell. I interviewed him on our podcast. He wrote a great book called Start From Zero. He's also a pretty talented musician. I got him to sing a song. If somebody could do me a favor in the chat, just do a YouTube search for Chris Badgett, Dane Maxwell. You'll find the podcast interview and put it in the chat. At the end, Dane sings this amazing song for people building courses. It's pretty incredible. But throughout that journey, Dane has this concept, this framework of having a clear customer who wants a specific result. And then there's a mechanism for achieving that result. And it sounds simple, but a lot of agencies really get that wrong. They really focus on the mechanism like WordPress or marketing automation or some kind of mechanism that they're good at or they want to do projects on, without necessarily having a clear customer with a clear result. So just keep in mind this 3-part stack as a big idea as I talk to you. And the other part is just really being a full stack agency entrepreneur. So, think during this presentation a little bigger than WordPress or building websites for clients. And I'm going to show you how to unlock. I said this is going to be for high value WordPress LMS consultant, not low cost commodity, lots of competition. So I'm going to show you a bigger stack for delivering high profit margin, high value sites. So I'm going to get into the online education opportunity. We're going to go into trends. We're going to go into use cases. We're going to go into some niches, and I'm going to show you a path forward. So I'm Chris. I'm the CEO, co-founder of LifterLMS. I'm a course creator. I'm a homeschooling dad. I'm a guy who lives in the country. I'm actually a pretty extreme introvert. People don't think that because they see me on the internet doing all these things, but I'm actually a pretty quiet, reserved individual who likes hiking in the woods by himself. But I'm also extremely curious, and I love helping other entrepreneurs and especially WordPress professionals. There's really something super special and collaborative about our community. So that's who I am. And really my life mission and my company mission is the same thing, which is to lift up others through education. A word of caution in this niche, both agency life and in the course creator life, there's sometimes there's this focus of making money online, which I'm not against. I think it's awesome to make millions of dollars on the internet. But when we shift our focus, this is one of the things I help people do, to helping somebody else get a result and go through a learning transformation. That's when some incredible opportunities unlock and the friction starts to really get out of the way. So there's 3 types of people we help. I call them builders, starters, and switchers at LifterLMS. So you all on this call are builders. This is a WordPress agency group. You build sites for clients. Sometimes you fall in love with the tech, whether that's WooCommerce, and you start launching your own products and your own t-shirt brands with Printful or whatever you're doing. You build a course site or a coaching site for a client with Lifter or some other tool, and then you start being like, you know what? Maybe I could do that too. I think I'm going to create a course and stuff like that. You're builder people. If you're on this call, you're builder people. This presentation is 100% for the builders. Then we have the starters, the DIY professionals who have a dream, who have an expertise, who have knowledge, experience, and really a drive to impact the world in a certain way, who are going to do it themselves. This is the beauty of WordPress. Anybody can pick it up. It's not always easy, but there are a DIY person can learn WordPress. They can learn LifterLMS and launch a site. And then we have switchers like my buddy Nick here, who switched to LifterLMS from Teachable Eventually, people outgrow platforms, as we know in WordPress, like Shopify or Teachable or Thinkific or Kajabi. These are all great platforms, but not everybody. But some people realize they want to own the platform. They want less cost. They want more customizability. They want to build a truly unique brand, and they want to own the asset they create. So they switch. That being said, the starters and the switchers are your clients. You folks are builders. So there's a couple trends I'm going to get into here. One is that online education is going mainstream. Online education has been around for a long time, but it's really starting to tip, especially back in around 2018. We started seeing things like masterclass launch, where you can learn comedy from Steve Martin. You can learn entrepreneurship from Sarah Blakely and Spanx and all that. You can learn how to be a DJ from whatever that dude's name is, the mouse guy. Online education is just exploding, but it has been around for a long while. But what's happening is it's really going mainstream. The e-learning industry is booming. It's a $300 billion industry, estimated to be by 2025. It's probably going to be bigger than that because of the acceleration due to the pandemic. Within this pie, though, there's lots of little slices and niches, which is what we're really going to get in today, of like, where's the money? Where's the focus? How do I make it easy to get clients? We'll get to that in a little bit. We've got the global pandemic, education system disruption. This includes K through 12. It includes adult learning. It includes sales professionals who can't travel or are now turning to other methods of doing education-based marketing. It includes people who have lost their jobs and are now looking to monetize from home in a different way. This whole thing is exploding. I consider myself to be very lucky and fortunate to be in this trend that's growing, and I want to share it with you because of the need right here. There's a lot of people in need of learning these skills, getting these sites up, but across lots of different use cases, which we'll get into in a little bit. The other thing we've got is 5G on the rise, which is just a way of saying, I was out walking the other night. I walk a lot, and I saw like this, I thought I was getting ready to get abducted by aliens. And it was actually this like string of lights in the sky. And I was talking to my brother, and I was like, hey, just so you know, this is where I am in case I'm about to get abducted by aliens. But what it was Elon Musk's Starlink satellite thing, which is going to bring global internet to everybody from space. And what we don't realize as builders is, and I just happened to be in the right place, right time to like see it. And I had never seen it before, and it was kind of freaky. But now I know what it is if I ever see a giant like snake of lights in the sky. So if you see it, don't be alarmed. But internet connectivity is exploding. The ability for mobile consumption and also to get internet connected in rural areas. I'm a guy I've moved my family into an RV before. I've done business from all over the world and been on the move, that kind of thing. It's just getting easier and easier. And there's whole portions of countries coming online right now that it's easy for us as builders to forget that as WordPress professionals. There's internet connectivity is still exploding. The next thing is tool accessibility. So this is the tools of the trade, whether it's WordPress, a hosting account, video cameras, our smartphones, Canva for whatever we're using to make art, images, videos, audios, podcasts. It's all just freaking exploding, and it's never been more accessible and affordable. So all this compounds to, really have this moment in time where the WordPress LMS industry is just ripe. So I'm going to go over a couple of use cases here. We've got the simple online course. This is one of my customers at LifterLMS. Her name's Esther. In a couple of years, I saw her go from $0 to $50,000 a month doing online courses. She's a military spouse. The problem that she helps with is helping military spouses who travel a lot because the deployment or their partner moves to a different base or whatever. They have a hard time holding down a career. So she became a virtual assistant, and then she teaches other people how to other military spouses how to develop into this VA work from anywhere. Doesn't matter if you're in the military career. And she's turned that into a great business. The next is the training-based membership site. This is Michelle Noonan, who is she was the first person to create a Divi child theme. So there's a little bit of WordPress history for you. But she helps agencies kind of level up in their marketing. And she's a designer. She's done a lot in the photography niche. But here she's using Lifter to create courses. She's got these perks, which is like deals she's negotiated. She's got these calendar of events with, co-working sessions, office hours, guest experts. She's got a library of assets and digital files. And she's curating all this content and experience into a coaching program and a community using LifterLMS. That's a training-based membership site. Then we have the course marketplace. So I think it might be the largest WordPress education site on the internet. It's powered by Lifter. It's WordPress 101. Sean Hesketh has this site. There's multiple instructors on there. So like if you want to learn Beaver Builder, if you want to learn Yoast, if you want to learn WordPress, if you want to learn Gutenberg, this is multiple courses, multiple instructors. This is called a course marketplace. The next, which is a little less obvious, is education-based marketing. So sometimes the course is not the main event or the membership or the coaching program or the school. In this case, this is a WordPress product company called Groundhog, which basically does marketing automation and email list management and broadcasting all from your WordPress site. They use LifterLMS to create a certified partner program for their tool. They have a quick start course about how to use their software. And then they actually help course creators because they found that that niche was very popular with their tool. This is our number one secret. People ask me like, hey, how did you get like such a, how'd you grow a big email list? I did a quick start course for my software. So if you do a free course, I call it a free course lead magnet, 20 minutes training that shows 5% of the tool that gives you 80% of the value. This is what I call a quick start course for a SaaS company. And by the way, it doubles as a user onboarding tool. So not only do you get the sale to the show don't tell buyer psychology people, like just show me, I don't want to read your sales page, show me the thing. Also, after they buy, it helps them onboard into your tool or your service or whatever. So that's a quick start course. But this is education-based marketing and onboarding. Next, we have internal training. I just heard the other day that there's a agency that uses LifterLMS in their deployments that did a
I'm not sure if we lost Chris. Thought it was just me for a minute, but I see Beth asking if he's frozen. We may have lost him for a minute. Let's see if he's able to come back on here. Yeah, let's just hold on just a minute. I'll try and reach out to him here. Let's see. Should be. Oh, but now he's gone. Sorry about that, everybody. Let's see if we can get him back on. I was really enjoying that presentation too. That was great. Let's see. Just a minute here if he joins back in. If you want to in the chat, how many? I'm curious to know how many of you are currently have courses. Oh, looks like he's coming back in now. If you currently have courses implemented, or if you're kind of here to sort of look into how to get started with it. Hey, Chris, you back?
I'm back.
All right.
All right. So let me, where did you lose me? Was I talking
right on
about
number 5, internal training?
Oh, cool. Perfect. Well, I'm going to share my screen. Oh no, I'm already sharing. So there we go. Cool. And then if somebody could. There we go. Can we see the airplane in the chat?
Yep, looks good.
Everybody see the airplane? Cool. So another use case for WordPress LMS is internal training. This is where a company uses a learning management system to train their employees. So I recently heard from somebody who does more enterprise client work, was using Lifter for Delta Airlines. They were doing some flight attendant training with LifterLMS. So this is another use case. And then let's see. We've got remote schools. So these are at all levels. We've got K through 12, we've got university, we've got higher ed, continuing education. This is a college I just saw the other day, Western Nevada College, pivoted to doing more online learning, and they chose LifterLMS for that. So those are the use cases. I'm going to get into the problem in the LMS industry if you're wanting to get in the game. So the first, and I'm guilty as charged, my hands up, of being a WordPress generalist. Let's see. Am I frozen again?
No, we can hear you, but your image is frozen.
Okay.
So.
The internet should be back good in a second, but
yeah, it's fine. We can hear you in the presentations coming through, so I think it's okay.
Cool. So that's the unfocused WordPress generalist, guilty as charged. The other thing is just the rapid education system change blindness. And this is just, it's more of a call to opportunity. Like we're in a lot of industries, not just education, but because of the pandemic, we're seeing like rapid digital transformation across all kinds of industries. Education is one of the big buses or cars on that train. And then the next thing is a lack of a complete agency business system, which we're going to get into in a little bit. So the promise I have for you today is we're going to get into 5 hot education niches. We're going to clarify the education sector opportunity, and we're going to get into the proven process to focus your agency to take advantage of what's going on here. So there's 5 hot principles I wanted to show you that can help you focus, that can kind of lead to those more profitable projects. So the first is offering solutions, not suggestions. So this is where, this goes back to that big idea I was talking about, where we want to help a clear customer get a specific result, and there's going to be a learner involved on that journey with us, and they're looking for a very specific solution. So if we architect around the solution, that is where the big value is. The other thing is that you don't get to decide what works. Ultimately, it's that end learner that gets to decide what works. And you have to focus the who. I accidentally discovered this when I started blogging about just me building my own course site, which I was doing in the gardening niche. I didn't know that I was building a niche focus for myself. And once I started communicating, not just about the tools I liked, but the use case, the clients just started attracting them in. There was a point where there was a company in New York City that called me and asked me to get on a plane and come visit them and help them build out their WordPress LMS site and grow their affiliate program. This all came from focusing on the who. The other thing is industry partnerships. You don't have to do it alone. And then the 5th thing,
We may have lost him again.
before I do.
Oh, we lost you for just a second there, Chris.
Let me see. Am I back?
I can hear you, but your video feed is not coming through, but that's not the end of the world.
Let me just restart it. I think I'm back on the good internet, and then it should be good. Let me just switch the other camera. Cool. Sorry for the technical delays. Luckily, this is like my 100th webinar or something, 200th. So I'm used to stuff happening. But we're back on the good internet. So this should work good now. I'm going to show you some models to think about as an agency. Then I've got a worksheet that I'm going to fill out in front of you guys, and then I'm going to give it to you. So let me go ahead and share my iPad, and we'll get this party started. So I'm going to stop that, and I'm going to reshare the iPad. So can somebody write in the chat iPad if you can see the iPad? Cool. Appreciate that. So bear with me, but this framework I'm going to show you two models that I hope is really going to unlock the high value opportunity for you. The first is what I call the education entrepreneur growth engine. So this is where when we help our clients grow, we grow. And I just want to make sure, everything's coming through, you can see me drawing?
Yeah, looks good.
Cool. So the entrepreneur growth engine, and this is 10 years of experience I'm compressing for you all here. Is what the education entrepreneur works. So think about these as our clients. What they're actually hiring you to do is to help them from a tech perspective create, launch, and scale their online training, their course, their remote school, whatever they're going to call that. So when they first hire you, what they're asking you to do is to help them design the program. And let me know in the chat if you've ever had a client that didn't quite know exactly what they wanted, and ultimately you're like really having to help them build out and flesh out even just the fundamental business model. So that's what happens here is our LMS clients need help designing the program, which we're gonna look at in a second. Then they want you to launch it. And then once it starts taking off, they want you to scale it. So the main thing they hire us for is to implement, this is what they think they're hiring us for, to implement the marketing and the website tech. This is what we do as a WordPress professional. If we say, I build websites for clients, we are implementing the website and the marketing. And then what's the hardest pain point of any web designer? It's getting the content. So that we need to, for a LMS site to be successful, we have to produce content. So on the creation point, we want to design the program, implement the marketing website and the tech, and produce the content. This is what our clients want. And they might be in one of those 5 different niches. Then they want us to launch. And when we're launching, we have to actually implement the tech. This is what a lot of what we think we do as an agency. And then what they really want us to do is to fill the funnel to get leads for them. And then what they want us to help convert sales. And that is what's involved in a launch. So if you've ever built a site for a client and then it launched to crickets, they didn't have a good conversion system in place or a proven method like a quick start course to fill the funnel. And then hopefully they're successful and then they want to scale up. And this is where, you know, we excel as agencies. If we've been around the block for a while, we know how to automate things. We know how to build systems and processes and tools to automate. Ultimately, the best sales machine is a great experience for the end learner. So the learners, we want to delight. And then the last step is to really not do it alone, which I call growing the team. So this is why at LifterLMS, we have an experts listing. The number one question we get is, do you know an agency that can help me build the site out? Yes, we do. We have a list of people that can help with that. If you're interested in learning more about that or getting on that list, just let us know. But scaling is about automation and really keeping that focus around delighting the learners. Because once we have that results focus, things start falling into place. And when it comes to growing the team, this is where you come in. And let me just add, before we go to you, this is what we're actually selling. People want freedom. If they can create and they can launch, they can make an impact. And if they can launch and they can scale, they can make financial results. And if they can create at scale, there's a much more subtle type of freedom, which is creative freedom. And if you help somebody achieve that kind of freedom, you have a client for life. You're their technology partner. But to become a technology partner, there's one more of these, which I call the WordPress LMS Agency Growth Engine. So this one has 3 P's in it. Which is all about the package, the profit, and the people. So if you want to really get into, you know, that high value program and scale out your agency, you got to package the service offering. You got to design it for profit. And you got to really understand and serve a very specific type of people. And when we do that well, this is a feeling that a lot of freelancers and agencies don't have, which is peace, a sense of peace. And when you package in a profitable way, what you get is you get margin. And when you profit for the right people over and over, you get momentum. And when you package for the right people in software, we call that product market fit. But it's true for agencies too. A lot of them just ignore it and rely on their smarts and their ingenuity and their team to just deliver anything under the sun. So there's some things that accelerate this, which I'm just going to go over real quick. This is what our clients really want. So I want to remind you where I was talking about earlier in the presentation about being a full stack agency. We can help these education entrepreneurs become entrepreneurs themselves. You know, they need to start businesses. They need to open bank accounts. They have tax things they need to figure out. We have to do the web and the marketing tech, which is what we think is just our job. But I'm encouraging you to expand what you do when you focus on a specific niche. And then we want to do the community building. We need to help our people build their tribe so they don't launch to crickets. So we help them become, we create a package where we help them become entrepreneurs themselves, get a web platform, and build an audience, which I like to call a community, not just an audience. In terms of profiting, there's a few levers here for you to pull. One is being results oriented, not tech oriented. So I wouldn't even call yourself a WordPress LMS agency. We'll get into what to call it in a second. The next thing is pricing. You know, once you stop building brochure sites for clients and you build an entire online business for somebody or a school or a university or whatever, the pricing can go way up. The next profit part has to do with niche selection. And we'll get into that in a moment. And then when it comes to the people, this is what I would encourage you to do, is to really get inside the mind of these types of clients. This is why I have a podcast with almost 300 episodes on it, serving these clients with what they need in addition to just a WordPress website. We have to love and understand them. We need to help them be minimalist, because you know, when people get into technology and online business, it's really easy to get into all this like chaos and too much tech. And I'm going to build a coaching program that's got these 27 components. We have to protect our clients from chaos. And to do that, we first have to lead by example with ourselves and not overcomplicate the package. And the next thing we really need to understand is the transformational process of learning. Some people call this pedagogy. Some people call it, I heard Chris Lemon talking on your call the other day about scaffolding. You want to learn about this? This is a great book for this. It's called Design for How People Learn. I interviewed the author. Her name's Julie Dirksen on our podcast. It's fantastic. But you know, in WordPress, we're used to hearing all these words like content, got to have the content marketing, I got to have a content funnel. I need to repurpose my content. Slow your roll and think about the transformational process of the end learner, and that'll help sharpen the focus. Protect your clients from, you know, getting too excited with the tech, just like you used to be when it used to take you 80 plugins to build a site when 10 could have done it just fine. Keep the wheels on the bus, and you have to love and understand them. The first sign that an agency is going to fail, in my view and experience, is when I hear a freelancer or agency owner start talking trash about their clients when they're not around. How we regard our clients is really important. So I'm going to go for about 7 more minutes, and then I'm going to open up for questions, because I need to show you about this niche selection, which is what I promised you in the title of this. So this is a worksheet which you can get in the there's a URL. If Emily, if you could type it in, it's just lifterlms.com/avatar. You don't have to get it right now, but go ahead and get it and save it for later. But I want to show you how to focus, because here's the deal. If anybody here has a child or has ever been around a child and you've watched somebody learning, they start copying the adult, or they're mimicking. Learning is like really what makes us human. So there's literally no end of niches we can go into. The big opportunity is to focus on a sub niche and not just being a WordPress generalist or even just a WordPress LMS professional. So I'm going to go into, I'm just going to do this for myself super fast. And then what I'm going to encourage you to do after this call is take this worksheet and go do it for yourself. So the expert industry is booming. You know, these are coaches, you know, people like on Udemy, speakers, authors, all this kind of stuff. You know, there's three big niches. There's health, wealth, and relationships. Within teacher, the teacher niche, we've got K through 12, we've got university, and we've got continuing ed. And there's more. This is just me brainstorming. This is what it would look like if I went through this exercise. For internet marketing, remember that courses are sometimes used to do education-based marketing. Some niches I know where this is super high value are SaaS or software or WordPress product companies. Agencies need to do marketing. And then we've got retail. Like, have you ever, like, if who here has opened up a little white fine print instruction manual in a box that really sucked about how to put something together? That there's a course opportunity there. And you know, that's a problem that is so massive you could build an entire company on just that with furniture niche. But anyways, business internal training. Some of the biggest ones we see in our customer base have to do with safety, sales training, and customer success. And then when it comes to the course marketplace, there's huge niches out there. There's the hobby niches. Like I mentioned, my first sites were with expert gardeners and permaculture people. I have a YouTube channel for that. And then I have my Chris WordPress channel. The hobby niche is like 30 times the size. Like some of the videos there have 90,000 views. I can barely get 300 WordPress people to watch a video. These hobby niches are massive. If you've ever wondered how this, like somebody on YouTube is making all this money in some weird niche, this is the hobby market. It's so interesting. Also, course marketplaces are common around careers. Kind of like how we were looking at WP 101 for web designers. And then technology, you know, learning how to do a technology. So, and then we sub niche. This is the trick. So which one of these am I the strongest at? Well, I like all these. Like I'm a super interested person, so it's hard for me to choose, but if I had to pick one, I would probably go with wealth because I'm a business guy. I'm a bootstrapped entrepreneur who came out of Alaska, knew nothing about tech, and built a big tech company. I've learned a few things, so I can teach business. In LifterLMS community, these folks are making tons of money. I just know that just looking at their sites, continuing ed. So mandatory continuing education niche. Internet marketing. I would do SaaS or software because I understand it. Business internal training. I would do safety. And then I would do that hobby market because I've seen with my own eyes how when we don't just try to sell courses to other people like us and we go help an underserved hobby market, how huge that stuff can get. So the sub niches here, I'm just going to do them real quick. In wealth, I would do real estate. Some of my early clients were real estate sales coaches. Investing, look at things like Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. One of the largest cryptocurrency education sites on the internet is called Block Geeks. It's powered by LifterLMS. That whole market blows my mind how big it is. And then we've got like business coaches. Somebody was saying earlier, one of their challenges is getting clients to see the ROI. One of the reasons why I like the wealth niche is it's easiest to demonstrate ROI, like really directly. Continuing ed, healthcare, tons of opportunity there. Pharmaceutical. I mean, talk about, I see these folks getting into our tool. I see court mandated training. Not everybody is trying to improve their life. Some people got to take training because the law tells them they have to. So there's a whole market there. In SaaS, we've got quick start courses. We've got a model I call the Academy add-on, where you can really expand the revenue of a software company. You know what software companies suck at? Is writing documentation. If you come in and you build a training academy around like a tool, the best tech trainers never work at the company. It's always this third-party company that fills it. There's a huge market here. I call it the Academy add-on for SaaS. And then there's feature courses, which are more deep dives on use cases. Business internal training, safety. We've got OSHA and equipment training, huge. COVID training. I mean, think about that emerging industry, how businesses need to train around COVID protocols. And then you'd be surprised, the sexual harassment kind of workplace course type stuff, huge industry. Course marketplace in the hobby niche, gardening, massive. I'll give you one of my best secrets. If you go into a niche where people are not technical by default, like planting plants and growing things, that's often where the biggest opportunity is. A lot of us tech people want to go into tech. What I'm saying is go outside of tech to the underserved folks that aren't already techies. Drones for all kinds of things. This is just came to the top of my head, and then a YouTuber niche. So that is some sub niches. See, we're focusing on the sub niches here. I would do business coaches because I've worked with them in the past and I know they're great. The pharmaceutical folks, I mean, think about all the or continuing ed for pharmaceutical people. I just see it in our customer base. It's a hot niche that's not necessarily sexy, but blowing up. The Academy add-on I would do because I'm just super passionate about it. For safety, I would do COVID because it's such a huge opportunity and there's just it's a very acute need. And then the course marketplace, I would go into these, I would help YouTubers monetize because I'm so tired of hearing YouTubers say, go to my Patreon and do this thing. And I'm like, you just need a WordPress site and an LMS and hook up the payments and you're good to go. It's so ripe for disruption. So real quick, ICE score is just a way to like choose. So I've got 5 choices here. Ultimately, impact, confidence, and ease. What would be the impact on a scale of 1 to 10? Confidence. What's my confidence in my ability to deliver this, and ease? You would just like score these up. I'm just pulling numbers right here. And then ultimately you would select a winner. So like in this case, the highest ICE score for me would be to do WordPress LMS for business coaches. Because like one of you mentioned in the pre-chat there, that helping their clients see the ROI. You know who sees the ROI of a WordPress site? A business coach. You know what's getting disrupted big time right now? People paying $30, $40, $50, $70, $200,000 for an MBA to take Zoom University. The whole business coaching market is just ripe for explosion. It's already blowing up. I'm in a SaaS business. I have a SaaS business coach who I pay a lot of money or whatever. Like this market is big. So I've just got a few more slides. I know I went a little long, but it's just to wrap it up. I'm just going to share my final words with you and then take whatever questions we have. Am I sharing my screen now? Can you see models?
Yeah, it looks good, Chris.
All right. So we did the online education avatar focuser. So what I'm saying is don't be a WordPress LMS professional. Help pharmaceutical companies do the pharmaceutical sales LMS, or do the, the workplace safety LMS niche. We did the worksheet. I wanted to ask you if you can see yourself growing by focusing. I discovered this by accident. I could only imagine what I would do if I did it intentionally. If I wanted to target, and let's say with paid advertising or just with content, training companies that provide real estate license training, continuing ed, that's a lot easier than just being like, I build WordPress LMS sites for clients. The top benefits of Lifter is a full stack solution that helps you create, sell, engage, protect your content, and connect with the tools you're already using. Lifter LMS is bigger than just software. As you can see, I'm super excited about this. I built community around this. We have our own training. Our goal is to help WordPress professionals accelerate, because when we lift up others through education, everybody wins. It's all about the end learner though. So if you are interested in learning more, we just looked at niching down, but I would encourage you to go to lifterlms.com/grow. We're getting ready to put together a certified partner program to help WordPress professionals get clients and also deliver these kind of higher value packages. So if that's something that's interested to you, there's nothing to buy there. Just go sign up just to let us know you're interested. And I just wanted to thank you for letting me do what I love to do, which is just continuing on the mission to lift up others through education. We do have a coupon code. Our Black Friday deal all November is 20% off. Because you're my favorite people, WordPress agency people, you get 2% more off. That's GoWP22 is the coupon code if you want to get anything from Lifter. But, one of our other missions is to be a model on how to do freemium in WordPress. So even if you don't want to buy something, just go install the free plugin, see what you can do. Take our quick start course, check it out. I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you so much, Chris. That was fantastic. I loved it. It was really engaging presentation. So thank you for that. I thought it was really interesting, and it was great. You talked a bit there at the end about business coaches, and it's a topic we discussed in, I think, our happiness hour call 2 weeks ago. And man, are you right? Like, we could have gone on for hours with that group talking about coaching and mentoring and that market, and just even people who are wanting to get into the market and all of it. So yeah, that was really definitely a hot topic right now, especially in this community. So that was fantastic. I haven't seen any questions come in. A few people earlier were saying that, just agreeing kind of with what you were saying, but no questions. So if anyone, we have some people over on Facebook saying this was so great. Thanks a million.
I just want to thank, you mentioned business coaches. About 6 years ago, I went to I think it was the second ever Cabo Press that Chris Lemma put on. Chris Lemma has helped us in a lot of ways, even just through his free content. I jumped on a clarity call with him a long time ago, but coaches and getting support really help you accelerate. I personally found myself in the WordPress world kind of as an island, just doing my own thing. And then I discovered the whole community thing and WordCamps and, these other events like Cabo Press and whatnot. And it really helped us accelerate and clarify our thinking. So investing in yourself as a WordPress professional in your own education, learning, and community is super important. Obviously, people care about community if they're here in y'all's group, but it's just part of the deal. If you want to go, whatever that African proverb is, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I love that quote.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I love that too. And yeah, I couldn't agree with you more on Chris Lemma. He helps us out a lot at GoWP. We have regular calls with him, and he's phenomenal. He's just so smart. And I would definitely reiterate everything you just said, and investing in yourself and learning from people who have been there, done that, and have the insights and smarts to and are willing to share it, like why not take advantage of that? No questions, Chris. Everybody just loved it.
Cool. Well, go rewatch it and go fill out the worksheet. Even if you don't think you're gonna focus, you're good. Go fill out the worksheet, and then when you find these niches, go look on Amazon and see how many books are on that topic and how many comments are on there, and you'll start to see how big some of these markets are, because they're the focus is really what it's all about.
Absolutely. I love that idea too, to kind of do some research there. That's great. Cool. So yeah, everybody, thank you so much for coming and watching. Thanks for all the kind words. Thank you, Chris, for everything you put together today. It was really so great. I took some notes myself as well, so that was fantastic. And for those of you who want to rewatch this, it is available, like, I don't know, however long it takes for Facebook to buffer the video, the next 5 minutes, you can catch it in the Facebook group. And I will be uploading it to YouTube and sending it out in an email. If you have registered and you're on that list of registrants, you'll be getting an email with the link to the recording there as well. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming and have a great day. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Bye.